So hi guys, welcome back in. This is game 2 of the Kings of War tournament held here in North Cornwall, and it's my Kingdom's men versus the Elves. There's a quick overview of the board. We're playing Pillage. The tokens out there's a couple of blue and yellow tokens about. That's what we're trying to grab. And the rules of this event is you have to have 2 more tokens than the opponent to get the win. So, with my opponent set up on my left flank, he's got some Stormwind Cavalry along with a Wizard, and through his centre he's got a regiment of archers, 2 bolt throwers, another regiment of archers, standard bearer in the middle, and out on the my right flank is I think a standard bearer or some minor hero. And on my left flank I've got my general winged beast, a regiment of spearmen, a horde of spearmen in the centre, and in the wood I've got my bowman. That yellow token there is another objective, so they'll be sitting on that. Behind him I've got my standard bearer, and then I've got 2 units of shield wall and my mounted sergeants right out on the flank there. So I think my opponent got first turn. Doesn't move anything except for his standard bearer on my right flank. He moves up behind the woods, and his wizard comes out and does a zap against my general and gets 1 wound 3, but does nothing else. Then in my turn, I move up in the centre, just put as much pressure on as I can. My spearmen on my left flank here, they move into the difficult terrain. If I bait them in with the cavalry, they'll be at -2 to hit, -1 for being disrupted, and -1 for fighting a phalanx in the front. And see if he goes for it. And then on the far flank, my cavalry have a go at charging his standard bearer. My mounted sergeants go in, but due to the -1 to hit because they had to go through the terrain, they get 4 wounds on, but don't break the standard bearer, just managed to wait for him, so that's slowed my cavalry down for a turn. My archers loosed off a couple of shots, managed to get 2 wounds on a bolt thrower, and wavered it, so that stopped one of them fine, which was ideal for me. The archers, I'm really happy with those. I'm glad I took out my mortar and replaced them back in with the archers. Again, my opponent doesn't move a lot and just opens fire, getting 3 wounds through to my horde in the centre. His wizard again gets another wound through on my general. He's really starting to bug me now. And his Stormwind Cavalry take the bait and go straight in. Yeah, they'll be at -2 per hit for this. Though they do have the Potion of Strength or the Potion of Crushing, so they're actually at Crush 3, which is quite nasty. Though, on a Crush 2 cavalry unit, maybe a bit over the top. Most things are only around the 4 marks, really. So they'll be hitting on 2s against most anyway. Maybe against the high armoured items it might be worth it, but in general I don't think it's a worth it item for a unit that's got Crush 2 anyway. So he gets 2 wounds through and then bounces. In my turn I charge him with my general, take out his wizard. I'll get him in a position in such a way that he can destroy him and then overrun into the side of the Stormwind Cavalry. I don't throw my spear in. This is a daft thing, but it's been playing too many games. I was worried about taking a few more hits. But obviously in Kings of War, the opponent don't hit when you charge in. So that's my own folly, but they're just going to stay there and hold that ground. So in the centre, I move all my units up. My horde goes up to try and bait him into an attack. I've got my flank open there, but I've got my standard behind me, and I've got a break back 22, so I should be able to take the charge of those elves. And if I do, I've got plenty of things there to countercharge with. Again, I go in against his standard bearer down on the flank there. He was wavered, so he couldn't do anything to get away, really. These guys have got my guys have got the Brew of Haste on them, so they got a 20-inch move or 20-inch charge. So. Yep, they go in again and try and defeat him, which of course they do this time. And then I go for the overrun. I get 5 inches, so this has now put them in charge range of anyone who wants to charge my horde in their centre of the board. Over on the left flank, I fail completely to kill his wizard, so I'm pushed back there. And in my opponent's turn, he charges back in. I think charging his wizard in was a bit of a mistake. He could have easily got out of my arc because I'm not an individual. Not only that, his zap's got, what's it, zap 5 or something? He's got 5 chances of getting a wound through other than his 1 for charging in. So I don't understand why he did that. Stormwind Cavalry went in again to try and break my spear. And in the centre he went for it, charging both archer units, one to the front and one to the flank of my horde. Oh, I think last time I saw managed to waver that bloody bolt through again, which was good job for my archers. I think the other one fires into my shield wall and causes a couple of casualties there. Oh, on my left, a few more wounds go through in my spear, but they hold, so Stormwind bounce, and the wizard doesn't do anything, and he bounces straight off. In the centre, my horde holds with 13 damage on them. They were wavered, however, which is a bit of a shame, so I don't get to charge them. But I've got everything else coming in now to those elves that have shown their rear to them. And remembering how to play this game, down on the left hand side, my spearmen decide to go into the Stormwind Cavalry. Again, I go in against the mage. I've done this really to try and get rid of 2 birds with 1 stone. If he kills off the mage, I can overrun, because he's only an individual, which means I can go into a new combat and take on the Stormwind Cavalry. And being only 2 inches away, I only need to roll a 2 or more to get into them. So that's ideal for me. So in the centre, I'll move my standard bearer up to make sure he's in range of everybody, just in case anything goes wrong. My cavalry and shield wall go into the rear of the elf archers, and my other shield wall go into one of the bolt throwers. And on the left flank, I managed to kill off the wizard, but unfortunately rolled a 1 for my overrun, so failed to get into the Stormwind Cavalry. I think the spearmen didn't do very much, because again, they're disordered as well, so they'll be hitting on 5s, and I think they got 5 plus armour, so nothing went through there. Back in the centre, I've managed to wipe out the archer unit and the bolt thrower, and just align my units, ready to go back in once he's wiped out my horde. So my opponent charges Stormwind Cavalry back in again, and at the middle of the board he charges his archers in and charges his standard bearer in, who's, by the way, he's got the sword of slashing, so he's got 2 attacks, but he's trying to get every wound on that horde to break them. And the bolt thrower has a go at my shield wall. I think they're up to 7 wounds now, so they're on the verge of disappearing. Unfortunately for my opponent, he only managed to waver my horde, even though there were up to 18 wounds on them with the combined charge there. So even though I wavered, I can't go back in, and then my unit's also blocking everyone else as well, which is a bit annoying. And down on my left, he goes into my spearmen and gets me up to 10 wounds and causes them to waver as well. It doesn't break them. Again, a bit of luck for me. So in my turn, I go in with my general against the Stormwind Cavalry. At the top, my mounted sergeants go into the flank of the archers, and my shield wall have a go at the bolt thrower. Here's my general going in, and unfortunately fails even to waver the Stormwind Cavalry. So I bounce off, and his cavalry are free to charge my spearmen and probably finish them off. Back in the centre, I've wiped out the units I charged in against, and now all the units just turn to face towards the centre, seeing if they can grab any objectives if they're nearby. I think that's all my archers are doing down the bottom now, is just holding an objective. So he's just left with the standard bearer here. So again, my opponent's Stormwind Cavalry going against my spearmen down the bottom, and at the top, his standard bearer with the 2 attacks goes in against my horde. But at the end of the day, he has to cause 1 more wound on him, and it's pretty much a guaranteed break there for him. Jumped on a bit here. Yeah, my opponent managed to break my spearmen down the bottom, and then turned to face my general, the Stormwind Cavalry. In the centre, his standard bearer wiped out the horde, and stayed in the centre. So in my turn, I just used my general's ability with Nimble to fly over the Stormwind Cavalry and turn to face the rear. And at the top of the board, everyone just charges in, my standard bearer, my shield wall, and the mounted sergeants, just to get rid of his standard. Yep, so I get rid of his standard. The only thing my opponent can do in his turn is just turn to face with his Stormwind Cavalry, and it's his last turn. So in my last turn, I just make sure my units are holding enough objectives now to get a win for the game, because I need 2 over his whatever he holds. And I throw my general and my mounted sergeants all against the Storm Cavalry, and defeat the Storm Cavalry, and the game ends. So that is all that's involved. I lost my the unit of spear phalanx horde and my little unit of spear as well. So it wasn't too bad at all. I was quite happy with that. And after my last game, I was feeling a lot happier to get a win under my belt as well. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This is game 2 of the tournament held in North Cornwall, and at the moment I'm at a win and a loss, which I'm happy with. As long as I can win just as many as I lose, I'm quite happy with that score. So I'll see you in the next game. Thou Wallace.